Hey all, it's Rigo here. Mike Rigo. Just wanted to just follow up with you guys about the picture of the Tiva. That happened on Saturday. Walk you through kind of what happened, what I've learned, and all that good stuff. But letting you see, this is the foot. And I'm going to show you now. I'm going to show you the actual foot when I get my stitches out. But this is what we got right now. All right. What I have is two B-type cuts, okay? And the angle grinder is set up to, when you take your finger off the trigger, it stops, slows down. So that safety feature surely came in handy. So, but this is right here, what I was cutting. Like I said, I've done it many times. And this is the angle grinder right here. So that's it. Like I said, I was cutting it. I was cutting to make shelves in my boat. I was cutting it right here. So I was holding it right here, and like I said, my big mistakes were I didn't have the piece of metal, the shelving secure. Normally I clamp it down. I didn't have that. I wasn't holding the grinder with two hands. Because that's like I said, I've done it many times, and but that was my issue. So when I noticed it cut and bleeding, I walked to my boat, and I'm not going to take you the whole time. I'm going to fast forward this and learn how to fast forward. But as I had my TVs on, I noticed it bleeding pretty severely. But like I said, I just walked it. And I'm going to hit pause right here, not bore you with the walk. All right, also, as I showed you, I was walking down the pier. I stayed in the middle. I noticed my sandals getting squishy. Sandals are right down there. And I was calm through the whole time. The heartbeat never got up. So I sat down right here. I pulled out my first aid kit. So here's my big first aid kit right here. I pulled it up, and I kept my tape right there and my pads right there. And so what I did was I took the pads. Never used non-stick pads, non-adhesive pads, but I had several, so I took about 3, put them on the wound, and then wrapped my ankle up. And so that's it. And then from here, went to the ER. I went to Sacred Heart ER, to the Gulf Breeze ER. I was the only one there, and I noticed I did not have my insurance card from work. So, they would have taken me, but, so I left there. For those of you, you don't know, I lost my wallet about a month or two ago, and that's one of the things that was in it. And that's the first time I've needed it. So I went, and when I was up there, I was going to stop by the Northwest Florida emergency room because I had to get a trainer stay with my mom, and they were packed. It was Saturday afternoon. And then I went to my mom's house to look for my insurance card. Couldn't find it. I was almost going to go to the Sacred Heart ER there, but decided to go back to the Gulf Breeze. So I didn't immediately go to the Gulf Breeze. I went a roundabout way, but my foot was, it was hurting, but not super bad, and it wasn't bleeding. So when I got there, then that's when they started the process. And what I have is I have 2 V-type cuts. Like I said, I'll show you to you in about a week. Cut on 3 days, and then he's going to take the stitches out. But so that's what I had. I mean, like I said, I'm extremely fortunate. It does have a automatic cutoff, but I mean, it bounced twice. You can see it cut twice, and that's it. But like I said, what I've learned from this is to always secure what I'm cutting, make sure I can cut, hold on to the tool with both hands, and lastly, if possible, have boots on to protect my feet when I'm using that. But that's it. Good. Oh yeah. I'll be right back. Last time you saw me, you saw my Tiva. All right. And what's going on with that is, as you know, I dropped an angle grinder on that. What I was doing was, and I've got another video that shows a little more depth, but that'll come out one day. But I was holding a metal shelving like this, wire shelving. I have any in here. Let me show you. This is actually what I was working on. I don't know if you can see it, but I was making shelves for this closet, and you can't see it. Anyway, metal wire shelving. I'll show you in the instance of it in a bit. But I was doing that, using that because I had some leftover. Because I'm a big believer in making do with what you have, and so I did that because that was a hanging closet, and just had to get some shelving in there, so I needed some more space. So I was holding that one hand, holding the angle grinder with the other, and I don't know if you ever use one of those. They have quite a bit of torque, and I've used it a lot, but I've always had whatever I'm holding clamped in and holding the angle grinder with both hands, because that's how you're supposed to do it. And like I said, I was out the dock, at the end of the dock, just out in the parking lot doing it, and it bounced out, and boom, next thing you know, and I was wearing my Tivas, and I had cut. And so it was bleeding a good bit, but slow bleeding, if that makes any sense. But believe it or not, I calmly just gathered my thoughts and said, hey, let's first thing do, let's stop the bleeding. So I walked to the boat. We have a grate type grading system in the center of our docking system, and so I walked on that, so I wasn't leaving any blood stains anywhere until I got to the finger dock and right here, and I think it's gone. Yeah, I cleaned it up. But so sat right here and went to my first aid kit that I have on my boat, and I've got several. I've got 2 first aid kits. My first one is right here. Quick first aid kit that's since been beefed up since the accident. And then here's my other one, first aid kit right here. And I'll just open it real quick. So there you go. That's my big one. Got stuff there. This folds down, and more stuff here. So this is it. And like I said, I revamped it. Got some roll gauze, because what I used to wrap it, and got some other things coming that I've been using. But anyway, I went to the doctor today to get the stitches out, and it was interesting. Walked in, did my stuff. I don't know why they ask you how much you weigh. I really don't. The other day I was somewhere and saw this teenage girl going back with her father or someone, and I knew they were going to ask her. And I mean, come on. Can we get past that? If someone's in the medical profession, can you tell me why we're asked how much we weigh every time we go into a doctor's office? Because it's not really how much weight, because we got stuff in our, we're wearing clothes, we got stuff in our pockets. But anyway, so that's it. So I went there, was talking to the nurse that came in to take my vitals again, you know, all that. And she said, why are you here? I said, get stitches out. And she asked how it happened. I said, well, do you know what angle grinder is? She said, yeah. And I said, I dropped it. And then I went on to say, I don't know how we got on this, but I went on to say, and I went to the Gulf Breeze ER, and when I got there, I realized I didn't have my insurance card. Why don't I have my insurance card? Because I lost my wallet a month ago. And so I left, and again, my foot wasn't bleeding, but it was wrapped up and it was still in that Tiva. Blood was all on it. And so I said, I think I left my insurance card, may have been at my mother's house. So I was driving there on my way to my mother's house. I was thinking how she had a great experience with the West Florida ER with her when she fell. And so I said, hey, let's go there. And so I went there, and again, I'm walking slowly, got this bloody foot, and walked in, and it was Saturday afternoon, and you know what's going on at ER on Saturday afternoon. Yeah, they were packed. So, so I worked my way to my mom's. It wasn't there. And I was really close to Sacred Heart, had an ER there. I was thinking about going there, but last time I've been there, just didn't have a good experience with that place. So I went back to the Gulf Breeze ER, and took about an hour and a half to do that. And then I said, long story short, and this nurse was kind. She had kind eyes. She smiled, and she said, Dr. B, in a second. My doctor came in because when they put the stitches in, they said to take them out in 10 days and to either you come back to the ER, but go to your primary care physician. And that's one of the things I like about living in a town the size of Pensacola, is you can find a good quality doctors without driving all over town and not doing just rolling the dice and see who you get. Because I got this doctor by asking someone else. And when I was in Dallas, I got my main doctor by asking someone else until he retired. But so walked in, and he came in, good guy. And he started taking them out. And he said it looked angry. It's a little red. So he wrote me a prescription for antibiotics, which I've got to go pick up. But well, I'm going to show it to you right now. That's what I have right now. Looks pretty docile. All right, hold your breath. I'm going to show you a picture of my ankle. It could be, I'm just warning you, it could be graphic. So anyway, here you go. So this is it. This is the ankle, right here. And I have, my cut is in a V shape. It's a V. See that, the V? Am I seeing it? Yeah. It's a V shape. So, and then this is on the inside of my left ankle. So the angle grinder literally, I mean, it had to bounce, but those things, I didn't have it locked in, so when I had my hand off the trigger, it was slowing down. But boom, boom, it cut. So anyway, the stitches are out now. I'm going to start with antibiotics for 5 days and see if that makes the redness go away. I talked to the doctor about my hernia because I'm dealing with a hernia. I got that last day I worked, and basically he said a hernia is one of these things that it's not an issue till it's an issue, which is my first time with a hernia. So anyway, so I deal with that. Had COVID about a week ago. Had COVID 2 weeks ago. I wasn't feeling well. Took a self-test, had it a week ago. It's gone. So, but just getting over that. And so here's what I'm working on my boat right now. Pretty pumped about it. I think I told you guys, but my flooring was squishy. And it was squishing because I had water in my boat. Water's coming from my AC. Right there. The AC drain hole the drain hose was stopped up. Well, Island Packet did not make a way to access that, so that's my access way. I'll be finishing that up better. But because of that, I had to pull up all my floor, and that was an adventure. I'm working on doing more of that, but I'm going to put that. But what I'm pretty pumped about is instead of getting the plywood here and cutting it, I've made a template. So see, I made a template. So the plan is now to go back to cut the plywood. And by the way, I use something called, something you hear about all the time. What is it? Oh, Johnson's water seal, I think is what it is. And it took forever to dry. I don't think I'll ever use it again. Just to seal up that water. In the past, I just used polyurethane, and I'm gonna go back to that. But that's it. That is the update on Tuesday, August 30th. Water pump wasn't working on my boat. The fresh water pump hadn't worked for a few days. So back to the AC. Like I said, the AC wasn't working, and the reason it wasn't working is this is water cooled. I've got a fan and evaporator right here. The condenser, I believe the compressor is back there. So it pulls water in from actually right there. The grate right there underneath it is my in-water flows. It goes from there to my compressor. And it may go there, I don't know, haven't figured that out. But, and it wasn't flowing. And the reason why it's flowing is because I have barnacles in it. So I did some barnacle busting. I'll tell you about that in another video. But got it working now, so I've got that working. My freshwater pump wasn't working. I bought another one. Maybe taking it back, it's working now. I think it may be to just, I let the water run almost out and it lost its prime, because what I did, started reading about priming it. I got a water hose. One of my water tanks is right here. So open that up. Undid the hose that goes to the water hose and ran it through to prime it, and it's working now. So that's it. Hey, like my LSU. I think we got a game this Saturday night. Go Tigers, by the way. But that's where we are. The foot walked real gingerly for the first several days because it hurt. But it's healing slowly. Like I said, the doctor said it looked angry. I like this guy. He's a good doctor. Good man. And so it's healing there. I'm really careful about what I put on it. I've not worn my boots. I was wearing my flip-flops. Now I've done topsiders. Just watching what I have. I've waited 3 days to get it wet, take a shower. But so it's all good. So that's the boat. Next project is the floor, and I'll keep you updated. Hope everyone's doing well. Like I mentioned something earlier about making do with what I have. You know, I've been thinking about this a good bit, and our goal in life is just to make the best of what we have. No competition against anybody else. Our only competition is who we were yesterday. And just to try to be better in some form or fashion or way. But don't beat yourself up if you're not. We're human beings. We've got an amazing body like this. I might be forwarding you a Facebook thing I found called Science Nerds. Somehow I came across it. One of you might have shared it, but it's got some interesting, funny stuff. And it's got the body talking, and the body's talking and said, hey, in 9 months I created you know, a whole person, legs, arms, fingernails, everything. So I got you. And then a person says, well, what about sprained ankle? He says, nah, man, I can't do anything with that. It's going to hurt for 7 years, and you're never going to be back like you should. Funny. Anyway, it's a lot of stories. So you might be getting a Facebook post from me about Science Nerds, because it's pretty cool. All right, hope everyone's well. Let me take this template, actually go cut it in wood. So that's the next step. I'm not too good at cutting straight lines. We'll see how it gets when I come back here. Hope you're well. Here's 14 minutes of your life. I hope you haven't wasted it. Hope you don't think it's wasted. No, you should. Never mind. Forget that. Hope you're doing well. Hope you've had a good day. Every one of you guys are my friends. So just wondering how you're doing. And not the I'm okay, the real deal, how are you? How are you doing? It's the past few years, I mean, life's difficult, and the past few years we've been facing things that we've never faced before. I know about the ups and downs. I mean, it's just, anyway. But anyway, if you want to see more of my writing, my picture drawing, just let me know. I'll be glad to put that to it. Hope you're doing well. Talk to you later. Bye.